Hello, I'm Shell and this will be my first video in my new writing journal project thing. If you've been around on my channel for a while, you know that I always participate in Camp NaNoWriMo and NaNoWriMo, and I always talk about my writing here and there. But if you hadn't noticed, I never follow through and I never finish my drafts. And this is the month that it's going to change. I am very happy with all the brainstorming that I did. So I think this is the first time in a while where I just kind of word vomited all of my brainstorming. I didn't try and restrict myself. I watched a lot of movies and TV that inspired me. I've talked about it before. I get a lot of my inspirations from movies and TV shows because I'm able to kind of break stories down when I'm watching something rather than reading something. So that helped me a lot in April to kind of stay motivated. I'm not going to tell you my new idea just yet, mostly because I don't really know where it's going to go because I'm still in the brainstorming outlining phase of the drafting, I guess, but I have gotten a lot of my inspiration from romantic comedies. I think I've mentioned this in one of my recent obsession videos, but there's this YouTube channel called Lessons from a Screenplay, which I think every writer should check out because it's so good. It's these people that analyze movies and kind of break it down to its core like themes and like how it's structured and all that stuff. And I watch a lot of their videos, but this one particular one that I watched was on When Harry Met Sally, which is the 80s rom-com that everyone knows. I hadn't watched it up to this point, so I went and watched it, and then I watched their video analyzing the plot and the structure of the story and the themes that are in the story and all that stuff, and I really got inspired because it made me a lot more confident in the type of story that I wanted to write and the type of ideas that I had coming out of my head. I've mentioned this before, I don't do well with the plot. Like, I'm really terrible at trying to come up with like a high stakes type of plot. And what I realized while watching this Lessons from a Screenplay is sometimes the plot doesn't need to be an external one, it can be an internal one, and I think that's kind of the type of stories that I like to read anyway. So I am a little bit more confident in the ideas that I've come up with. The other thing that I've realized while watching a lot of these romantic comedies and getting a lot of inspirations is that I am terrible with romance. I thought that I would be really good at romance. I love reading romance in anything. I ship people all the time, but apparently I'm terrible at it. I try putting a romance plot, subplot underneath the story that I'm writing, and I can't seem to get it to work. And it's really frustrating me because I really want like a cute romance in my story, but yeah, it's not happening at the moment. My story is going to be contemporary and it is going to be somewhat a little bit more character driven. By the way, I am still using John Truby's The Anatomy of Story as an outline for my outline, if that makes sense. If you still haven't checked this book out since the last time I mentioned it, I highly recommend it. It's really good. John Truby is a screenwriter, and I think a lot of the times I find it really helpful to get writing tips from screenwriting because screenwriting and like novel writing is different, but I think what I like about it is the structure of how to write a plot and story and stuff is a lot more clear than writing fiction, because fiction, everything is kind of just like meshed together, and sometimes it's hard, for me anyway, sometimes it's hard to see the outline and the skeleton of a story. So I really like this book and I highly recommend it. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say right now. I mean, I could tell you bits and pieces on my brainstorming, but I'm not even sure if they're gonna stick. Hopefully I'm gonna be making one of these videos more often because I really do want to work on it. So let me know your thoughts down below, and I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon.